What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. What do we do with our hands? Fly, Eagles, fly. Got a lot to talk about. Let's go. This ain't the fuck like oh, this game he stinks.
Oh shit!
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. This is Monday Morning Quarterback only on A2D Radio. Every Monday, we are brought to you by FanUp. And FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D. That's 5,000 bonus points, which is a $50 value. FanUp.app, right on the Apple Store. Go check them out. FanUp, download it, play it. I've won 3 different times now, all 75 hours or less, but I've won. And listen, jump in. There's no salary caps. That's the greatest thing. Like the hardest thing at doing a daily fantasy lineup, from what I've learned here over the last couple months of really getting into some daily fantasy, is the salary cap. How do you fit guys in? You got to be even more creative. This way, it's just a lot more fun and a better chance to win some money. So go download the app today. Get your 5,000 bonus points. Just use promo code HUD, $50 value. Ryan Brotto, I'm Tom Arnone, the family out there. Let's freaking talk about it all. We'll do a free jersey giveaway at the end of the show, part of our member wheel. I haven't decided today. Did Harper last week because his stench was away. Got away from us a little bit, so we felt better about it. Not Harp, but the team. So I got to decide. I got a Kobe Bryant.
Ooh.
Mamba Mondays. I don't know if that's a thing. If it isn't, it should be. Somebody should start hashtagging that. You're welcome. Mamba Mondays. But let's go Kobe. We'll go Kobe on the member wheel today.
All right.
So white Kobe Lakers. And then listen, I know you don't got to be a Lakers fan that love the jersey. Speaking of basketball and jerseys, and I got one sitting right here. This loser. Maybe we should do Ben today. Ben Simmons is back. Is he? We're going to find out here real soon because the car was driving one way and there was a quick U-turn here when you start hitting pockets. What did I tell everybody? As soon as people are like, he's got plenty of money. Okay, start hitting dudes' pockets. Tell them they got plenty of money because they live the lifestyle of the money they have, right? So if you're living the lifestyle of the money you have. Simple as that. So when you start drilling dudes' pockets, right, patting them down, taking money out of their pockets, guess what happens? Well, maybe we'll come back.
Oh, just kidding, guys. Just kidding.
You guys want to sit down and talk? Can we sit down and talk? I know I told nobody to come out here. Nobody talked to me. But can we sit down and talk? So listen, we'll talk about this loser a little bit later on in the show because the sad thing is, like, I don't want him back. So why are we having this conversation? And we'll dive into that a little bit. NFL Week 5 breakdown. We'll circle the league. We'll have some winners, some losers like we do every Monday. And we'll go from there, and maybe we'll segue a little bit. I know we'll segue with the Eagles, and Eagles Week 5 reactions is the main topic at hand. Our poll question is brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Head to toe, taking care of everything. Cologne, ball deodorant, ball wipes, anything you can think of, right? Shampoo, body wash. Can you believe it? You probably didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
People out there probably didn't know that. This is what we're here for. All right? They educate you on a lot of things, and we just educated you. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at Manscaped. Go do it, okay? And it helps us, too, by using the promo code because it keeps Manscaped with us, obviously. So pound it. Our poll question, we were going to go a little one way, but it was I'm not going to say it was the same, but it was a little similar to yesterday. And I was like, I don't know how to spin it. Like, the next day I'm almost like, well, maybe I disagree to this. I agree with it yesterday. So right. It's a week to week league and day to day league.
Hour.
Get off the show. And I'm like, what did I say?
Did we just do a show?
Our poll question for tonight's show. Nick Sirianni is more to blame for the Eagles' offensive struggles than Jalen Hurts. Agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where you can find us live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Like, subscribe, follow. Be goddamn great today. Pound the damn like button. Be like Darius Slay yesterday. Be great today and hit that damn like. Fuck with an algorithm one time. Do it. Comment in. Let us know you're here and become an A2D member too, because Nate and Wilson are just winning people goddamn money and a lot of it. And if you're not a member for $9.99 a month, it's pinned right in our comments. Do it. But everything else, review us over on the podcast places. Okay, and everywhere you're watching on Facebook, share it. Share it to the people because people need to hear this because I'm a hater. So people are going to really need to hear this out. I absolutely agree. And I really think that anybody that doesn't agree is then drinking the Nick Sirianni T-shirt Kool-Aid. Right? Like anybody who doesn't agree that he's more to blame for the Eagles' offensive struggles than Jalen Hurts, who Jalen Hurts has his issues that we know about. All right? That we know about. I'm not going to even get into Jalen Hurts' issues. You're talking about a head coach that's ran the football in meaningful runs 11 times in 3 weeks. Did you guys hear me? Because I'm sure that number's close. I know right off the top of my head. Like meaningful runs. Maybe 11, maybe 12 in 3 weeks versus two explosive offenses and Carolina who was playing good football. And we see all the family commenting in. We're going to read off everybody. You know how we do it. We get to the family. We always do. Every show here, we get up in with you. And we're going to get up in with this one. Jalen Hurts has his issues of throwing guys open, of being on time, of going through his progressions, of throwing over the middle, zip at times when he's running. I would like to see more zip. All that being said, this dude hasn't put him in a good situation yet. Did everybody hear me? Yet. You want everybody to give the kid time to develop? Well, help. The coaching staff isn't giving him time to develop. This organization isn't giving him time to develop. And that starts right with the goddamn head coach, okay? Because the T-shirts are cool and all that's cool. And I'm a 60-40 pass guy. You understand this? Understand who this is coming from. I'll freaking throw all day. If I have Tom Brady, if I have Peyton Manning, right? If I have Russell Wilsons of the world, Kyler Murray's of the world, the list goes on. Dax. Guys who are playing at an elite level, Aaron Rodgers, but even all those guys, you need a running game in this league that at least you got to respect. You want to know Kansas City Chiefs' biggest issue outside their defense? They can't run the football. They can't. So you can be 55-45, which is really the ideal place for me, all right? You cannot have this. This is a joke. You're talking about a second-year quarterback who's played 9 games, which is a lot of football games, to be honest with you now, at the pro level, because it starts adding up. That's not no air quote run game this year, and you've asked him to throw the ball like 40+ times a game. With all bubble screens and all these little throws, and you're counting them as your run game. That's a joke, dude. That's a flat-out joke, because you're putting balls in bellies, faking it for no goddamn reason. When you're talking about the passing game, like we all talked about, when I had freaking 10 wins in my head, I'll say it again. I thought this team could be a top 5 team in the NFL in rushing the football, and not just from their running backs. I thought that if you ran the ball with Miles and Gainwell, right, and that's set up now, Jalen Hurts being able to use his legs. That sets up big plays down the field. That makes your quarterback's life easier. And for every young quarterback that's ever put on strapped it up, will tell you the best thing for them was a running game. Because if you don't have one that scares anybody, the play action doesn't matter, and now everybody's playing the pass. The linebackers are playing the pass. Everybody's dropping. So for a kid who is learning how to read defenses, go through his progressions, throw guys open, are you doing him any goddamn favors? Absolutely freaking not. And I'm not here to crown Jalen. I'm here to tell people how it is. So everybody listen to this goddamn clip, and I want Eddie Brown and the trollers to all hear what I just said to you. Because you all ask me, you don't attack the coach enough. Are you kidding me? Are you guys kidding me? Because there's the agenda. I've smoked them. I didn't like the hire. I hate the hire even more than I hated it day one. Because it looks like I'm the smartest best friend with everybody in the room. And I got no time for that. This is the NFL. You got to be a player's coach, but you got to be able to motivate. And baking cakes, all right, and playing patty cake and rock, paper, scissors isn't what leaders do. You got to lead men. And not running the football. What is your identity on offense? You don't have one. So all that being said, I completely agree he's more to blame, and I'm really looking forward to the people out there that are gonna put that like this one on Jalen. I'm curious to see the people out there that are gonna say, you know what, it's not Nick isn't more to blame. I want to hear from those people because Jalen Hurts played better under Doug Peterson last year, and that offense was fucking atrocious.
The roster was worse too.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I don't even know how long I just went there. I was a freaking tangent.
Listen, it's justifiably so because honestly, Tommy, I know it's a great radio, but I don't know how somebody can disagree to this poll. I don't. Like, I know, you and I decided before the air, like, okay, maybe I'll take one side, you take the other, just to get the debate going, but there is no other side, in my opinion. And again, this isn't all of a sudden like, oh, Jalen Hurts is the best thing ever. No, it's this guy flat out sucks. It's Nick Sirianni. And listen, we're not saying fire him today. Would we be mad if we fired him today? Probably not. But we're not saying you have to lock all the doors, change all the locks, get rid of the key card. No, we're going to give him the full year.
No, you might need to do that Thursday night. I mean, that key card might. You don't run the football.
It can escalate real quick. That's true.
Yeah, you don't run the football against another explosive offense, I might fire you at halftime. You might be fired at halftime, Nick. If you don't run the ball, you got another explosive offense coming into town, and you're going to try to go in a gunfight with a knife. If you don't run the football, that's what you're doing. You're going to gunfight with a knife. You ain't winning that.
You know what's funny too? Like you said, like he's under a lot of pressure for this week. Not to get too out of topic, but like going back to last week to where he was saying, and all the reports are like, oh, I talked to our defensive staff and I put a lot of pressure on him, and then. You hear the reports like, oh, he lit a fire under Jonathan Gannon and he put pressure on him. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you, Nick Sirianni? Like you're not under pressure. Like what? Are you Belichick?
You probably didn't hear that yesterday. I said the same thing. Who the fuck are you? I love that you said.
Like, are you Belichick? Like, who are you? And like, listen, I know you're like on the door if you have a friggin' door, even if they gave you an office, because I don't know if you're deserving of an office. Like, it probably says head coach Nick Sirianni. That's great. I'm sure you took a lot of pictures. I'm sure that's a t-shirt. I'm sure the door is on a friggin' t-shirt. But, like, Jonathan Gannon's a nobody also. But, like, dude, you are the last person that should be going in, barging down doors and saying, oh, you got to be better. Because Nick Sirianni's flat out sucked. For all the limitations that Jalen Hurts has, I feel like this guy's got twofold with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. He puts limitations on his team before they even get in the building. Like, every game, Tom, whether it's the Eagles or the Packers or any team around the NFL, you have a game plan, and then the opposing defense has the game plan to remove what the opposing offense does really well. Mm-hmm. Well, Nick Sirianni just does the job for them the previous Monday, because instead of waiting for Carolina's defense or Buccaneers defense this Thursday to eliminate Miles Sanders from the game, or eliminate Dallas Goedert from the game, or a big facet of the game just based off of, hey, really good game planning or a really good defense. No, Nick Sirianni removes them from the game plan on a friggin' Tuesday. Like, oh no, I don't feel like running the ball today. And like, we take a lot of shots at Miles because we obviously had high expectations for him coming out of college. coming out of that first, I would call it half, 3/4 of the season where he really showed what he was with and without Jordan Howard. I know there's a lot of things he needs to get better at, and we saw that, but damn, he's one of your best playmakers on this team. The fact that you literally, for the first 5 weeks, have game planned him out of this offense does not make sense to me. And I know Gainwell looks good, but you're not even using him really. Like you're going to feature him a little bit, but it's like, damn, okay, so you're going to take a complete one side of the offense away when the offense is already predictable because you have a limited quarterback at the moment. Dallas Goedert, I don't know if this is like going back to our theory last week, Tom, to where this is like the GM to where, a guy wants to get paid, so we're going to limit his production so we don't pay him. But it's like Dallas Goedert, when he gets the ball, he makes plays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think that's the only thing in the passing game. I'm not doing that because I can't. I'm not putting that even on the coach because you got to talk about your quarterback and him getting through his reads.
And middle of the field, using the middle of the field.
Yeah, in the middle of the field, which he hasn't used enough of. So I can't put that on Nick. But the running game, and when, like you just said, the one thing we all know Miles can do well is take 150. So the fact that you're not setting yourself up for that, or just having a defense respect it, and it helps your young quarterback out. And Jalen hasn't been good enough over these. Honestly, Jalen hasn't played great at all.
No, he's been a C-level quarterback. No.
Help your football team out a little bit. I mean, this helps both sides of the football out. And I'll say to everybody, big play Slay. He's allowed that this week. Even for 2 weeks. He's allowed it all through next week, too, because he had 2. But you get paid in this league to take the football away. Everybody does. So I need takeaways. Trayvon Diggs going to get a lot of money when his contract's up because he takes the football away. So you take the football away, somebody's paying. Xavier Howard just got paid because he takes the football away. How's he going to get beat? Slay does a great job of not getting beat, but there's going to be games this year where he gets beat because every corner does, right? So you make up for that by the takeaways you have throughout the year. Yeah. And that's all we asked for. Hey, Fletch, Darius, can we hear from you? And we did. But that, they bailed out a head coach yesterday, and they bailed out an offense yesterday. And so this all goes to my point, is there's no identity. You got bailed out by a block punt and 3 takeaways, which you should win every time that happens. So it doesn't make up for the lack of him running the football. And that's my biggest gripe. It's not even the play calls when he does throw the football. It's the fact that you don't run it.
And I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, but the 2 biggest trends going around the league, both offense and defense, is on the defensive side of the ball, you need your defense to turn the ball over, whether it's fumbles, interceptions, etc., which we saw last week, and how big that moves the needle when you're really not playing well for 3.5 quarters. And on the flip side, and this goes back to the deficiencies on the offense, you need home run hitters in this league. Well, Miles Sanders, we know one of the few things he does really well. He's a home run hitter. If you give him enough touches, I'm not saying you give him friggin' 30 touches, but if you give him enough, he's gonna break one. Like you said, Tom, he's gonna break for 20, 30, 40, 50. He might house one. We saw that all last year. But if you're not even giving him the opportunity from that, now you're relying on your quarterback, who's not really a home run hitter type quarterback, to be somebody he's not. That's what I'm saying. Like going in, this guy is limited. Well, help him. Help him. You talk the last 2 years, and this isn't a Nick Sirianni thing. This is a whole regime thing. You talk about, we have a ton of speed on this team. Running backs, wide receivers, quarterback. Then use it. Use it. The only consistent thing I've seen with speed so far is, okay, we know pretty much every week we're going to get a Quez Watkins big play going down the field. That's like the only consistent thing I know about this offense so much. Mm-hmm. You can't rely on Zach Ertz anymore. And this is where I agree with what you're saying, Tom, to where the lack of the tight end production is more on the quarterback than not. But just looking at the snap counts and everything, they only use Dallas Goedert in the 12-man personnel. When they go with 11-man personnel, it's Zach Ertz. So, like, it does. Why? I've seen enough of Zach Ertz. And also, like, even if he was good, Dallas Goedert is the future of the tight end position on this team. We know that's not Zach Ertz. So why are you not flipping it? Have Dallas Goedert take the snap.
That's upstairs, though. That's different. That's not on. Like, I'm just saying what's on Nick and what's not. I can't put that on Nick. right? Because that's upstairs them not wanting to give him a boatload of money. He goes off this year. They got to give him a boatload of money. He has a good year. They don't have to give him as much of a boatload of money.
And
so that's how we just stopping in, saying hello.
And if Zach Ertz has a good start of the season, they can trade him. They can up his stock for value.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
It's just the way that works with this organization.
I said this in a text earlier. I'm really happy they won. Like I thought it was going to be a close game. Obviously, I bought way too much into the Panthers, which we'll get to later, obviously, but I didn't think we were going to get blown out by any means in this game. But I don't want to say I don't understand how we won that game because I know how we did. It's that it was an example kind of what we did the last time we played the Panthers. The Panthers just took the foot off the gas and then we just capitalized and they had an all-out collapse. And I don't know if that's just they didn't respect us as an opponent. They took their foot off the gas because we had no pulse for 3 quarters. Whatever it is, I'm really happy they won yesterday because it rejuvenates, the interest, at least for us, for, another couple of days before we probably get boat race. But you never know. It's Thursday Night Football like you and I were talking about earlier, Tom. But I truly believe that we won this game despite the head coach. Despite it. Because a lot of the moves that we made on offense that got us some points, it seemed like it was all improv. It was just Jalen Hurts making a play here and there.
Oh, dude, he got bailed out. He got bailed out by his defense, and he got bailed out by his special teams.
Mm-hmm. Because what's the last time do you know the last time we had a block punt, Tom?
Yeah, it was like, what did they say? They said it on the broadcast. It was a while ago.
Super Bowl year.
Yeah, so
it's nuts.
It's crazy, and I feel like you get blocks all around the leg. But they bailed you out, and that's fine. And we talk about like letting people grow and adjusting, and that's the best thing you can find out about guys. Well, he hasn't adjusted in 3 weeks now. So is he going to adjust on a short week with Tampa? And I know Tampa can't stop the air attack, but you got it like a start at least. Getting some sort of like resemblance to some type of balance.
Oh, and this is a big thing for Jonathan Gannon too. Like he did a lot of things I think we were all really happy with, and I think his players made Jonathan Gannon look even better.
Well, he played to their strength too, right? I mean, he played more man, so he did more things to, he did more things to both of them, Nelson and Slay. I mean, more so even Slay, because you got big physical corners, man. I mean, play man.
They looked like themselves yesterday. It's the first time in I don't even know how long. They were not trying to
play a player's strengths, right?
Yes.
And he hasn't done that yet. And yesterday I thought it was the first time he said, "Okay, I got more man corners." And I'm not gonna say he got bailed out, but he got bailed out because up front put pressure on. I mean, Mr. Milton got pressure on the one Slay pick. Right, so he got pressure on the Slay pick, but the front I thought did a tremendous job of making Darnold move off his spots, little things like that, to create some pressure that we haven't really done in the last couple of weeks.
Well, I think the other thing too, which we've been asking for, not because we think these two are superstars, but just because
when you bump, you get guys off their spots and you make things longer.
Yeah. We've been asking for. Well, I would say two in particular, two players that we put a lot of stock into, not confidence, but assets. And that was Jannard Avery and Davion Taylor. We said, where are these guys? You used a 4th-round pick on one you traded for, and you used a 3rd-round pick on the other.
Yeah.
Well, what do you know? You put them out on the field, and Davion Taylor's making some plays. How about that?
Yep, we talked about it last week, right? I mean, we talked about why is he not just playing? Like, who cares? He's at least fast, right? He's at least fast. Put him on. Put him on the field.
Honestly, I have no reason to have Eric Wilson getting more snaps than Jannard and Davion Taylor right now. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Eric Wilson's not the future of this team. He stinks. He stinks. He's a 1-year guy, and we know from the first 4 or 5 weeks what he is. So if this guy, the Jannard Averys, the Davion Taylors continue to make plays, well, that's good. They had more an impact in a half than Eric Wilson has had the entire season. And Singleton, again, like I understand, and I texted you that picture, because everyone was like, "Oh, well, he was 3rd in the NFL in tackles, guys. Oh, he's good." This guy, I feel like Singleton, first off, he's a special teams player. 2, I think he gets all these tackles because he literally is just running around. He's just running around.
Chicken with his head cut off.
And it's like he's either going to find the right side of the field or he's going to look like an idiot.
No, but I completely agree. His tackles are like, it's like, that's the most meaningless stat when you watch a guy play with your eyes. This is where stats are liars to you. Because if you watch a guy play and you're like, dude, he's always getting beat, right? He's always getting beat. And his tackles are because he's always getting beat. Or they're like, 20 yards down the field. Well, the tackle don't do nothing for me. How many tackles do you have for losses? How many tackles do you have at the line of scrimmage? How many deflections do you have when you're playing a linebacker? How many sacks do you have? Alex Singleton has I've been saying it for a week. Get him off the field. Get him off the field. Let me see Davion Taylor. And even if it was Eric Wilson, Davion Taylor, I'd rather see that than Singleton on the field at all. And then if you want to play Jannard Avery, that's great too. But I'm just saying, like, let's just start with getting him off the field. Off the field. Immediately off the field. Like, I don't want to see him this week. I don't want to see him on Thursday Night Football. And Davion Taylor did look good. I see Eagle Slayer saying it. He did. And that's a positive, right? Because this is a bad position. And that pick was built on athleticism, right? Guy being a really great athlete. So you hope he can pay off. But I'd rather get a great athlete on the field than a guy who can't cover me and you. I mean, let's be real. Everybody's beating him. Everybody's beating him, and everybody clamored for this guy. Get him off the field.
It's funny, too. There's another thing. I wonder if they were watching us last week, Tom, because Quez Watkins had more snaps on the field than Jalen Reagor this week. You think that's a trend thing, or you think it's more of a matchup thing?
Well, I would never at this point with Nick Sirianni say he's doing anything well with matchups. So I'm not gonna give him that credit. Dude, how many receivers do you think will be good for that from that draft? Right, I'm gonna hit people with that.
With the Jalen Reagor one?
Yeah, you think they're all gonna be pimps? I'm not saying Jalen Reagor don't play in the league for 8 years. I'm not gonna tell people that. Or 10 years, right? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is how many are going to be pimps? Like how many CDs, Justin Jeffersons, Judy when he's healthy is better, is a good wide receiver. But like those two alone, like how many pimps? Claypool can play. So like how many? And I'm not saying he's a pimp. I'm just saying he's good. Like those other two are pimps.
Freaking Ruggs looks better at the moment.
Ruggs. Like how many? How many? I don't know. That's not a reason he can't be. But from everything we saw, he's like,
Yeah, he's a guy. He's a third wide receiver on a team. That's it.
I don't see him being my second guy. I see him if you use him right and you put him in Debo's another one, and you put him in the slot and you mix and shake him. Right? Yeah, Chenault looks better too, Jay Kotcheth. Right, if you move him and shake him as your third, like right, as you were alluding to being a third wide receiver. Okay. Yeah, like I could see him making big plays for you and having good years, which I said could have a guy play 10 years. But to ever be a number one, to ever be that guy, you're fooling yourselves if you think, and it's still young, he's still young, but to ever be that guy, I think he's way more suited if you have a Devontae Smith, another really good wideout on the other side. I think if he's your third, then I say, oh man, you got a great wide receiving group. You know what I mean? Sure. We'll see if Quez can be that like every down guy as your two. I don't know. Right. I mean, that's why we're letting this year sort of tell us things. But Jalen Reagor ever being a bona fide one, I would lean like 90% that's not happening. Actually, sorry, 95% chance of that not happening.
Well, I'll just in the first 2 rounds, Tom, right? Tell me I'll just go right down the line. Tell me who you'd rather have through a season and a half, okay? Henry Ruggs or Jalen Reagor?
Ruggs.
Okay.
And I don't even like Ruggs that much, but Ruggs.
No, yeah, at least he's more of a big play guy. We only see him
open.
Yeah. Jerry Jeudy. Yeah. And I know he's been hurt, but it's not close.
Not close.
CeeDee Lamb, obvious. Justin Jefferson.
I said it on draft night.
Mm-hmm.
Got 100 catches in the SEC, and we're not taking them. Okay.
Too slow.
Slot guy.
Slot guy. Can't beat on the outside, really.
Yeah. All he does is run on the outside, by the way, too.
All day, forever. Might be getting faster, too. Like, I feel like he's faster now. Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take Reagor, I guess. That's not saying much. I'm not like Ayuk hasn't done anything, so to me.
No, he's been a bust. My only counter to that is, well, Ayuk's more of an impress. Like, he has more intangibles. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has more that he can grow into.
Maybe. I was never big on Brandon Ayuk to begin with, so it's not like that's like, you know what I mean? He just, if he's just okay, I'll take Reagor, I guess.
T. Higgins, absolutely T. Higgins.
Yeah, I guess I'll take T. Higgins at this point. Yep.
Michael Pittman.
Yeah, probably. Yep. Not even probably. Yep.
Laviska Shenault. Yes. Yep. KJ Hamler.
Yep.
I feel like we should just take in Hamler because Hamler's like the better version of Reagor, but like 40 picks later.
Yeah, Hamler's good. Yeah, I like him.
Claypool.
Yep.
Obvious. Van Jefferson. Yes.
Yeah.
The problem with him, he's like the 6th wide receiver on the Rams, so like he doesn't.
I can't even take him over Reagor. I'll take Reagor over that just to give him a couple bones here. You know what I mean? We've already said like 10 names that we take over him. So I mean, we're at a good point where it's
the last one is Denzel Mims, and I have to take Jalen Reagor because I don't even know if Denzel Mims like plays football anymore.
Yeah, Reagor over him.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know.
You're talking about like what, eight guys over him essentially?
Oh, easily. And I'm sure if I really wanted to like continue into the 3rd round, I only have the first 2 rounds, but I could probably find some 3rd round guys. Oh, Devin Duvernay, I would take in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
On the Ravens. He might be their best wide receiver other than Hollywood Brown. Like I probably can go into like the 5th round, Tom, and we could probably find some we would rather have than Reagor.
Yeah, and remember something too, right? Like he actually has the pressure. He actually has the pressure off of him because he has a legit guy that people have the game plan for, and Devontae Smith alongside of him. So pressure should already be off of him. And I mean, I know he had one catch yesterday that looked like a good route that was called back for a penalty, I believe, like a little out route for a first down, right? That got called back for a penalty. So he should have had 4 catches for like 45 yards or something, which isn't a bad day. Like I said, I'm not telling people that he can't play in the league for 8 years. I'm just saying he's never going to be that bona fide one. Thank God you have one in Devontae Smith. So all I'm saying is that other 2 spot is really up for grabs. Like, who's going to be it, right? Because I agree with you. I think he's more of a 3rd guy, maybe even a 4th guy. But we'll see if Quez like can be that other guy. But maybe the 3. I think the 3 of them can help each other out because they're all young still. So from what I've seen, it's not like a terrible wide receiver room. It's actually like at the addition of Devontae Smith sort of puts these guys more in a role where it's like if Devontae's catching 7-8 balls a game, you guys are cool with like 4 catches, right? Maybe some like Quez gives you explosive plays. Like that's okay. Like I'm good with it. We don't have that big wideout, but you don't need it in today's NFL. You don't really necessarily need it. You would love it for the red zone, but you don't necessarily need it.
Robert, you're echoing something, and I know you know this, Robert, because you've been watching for a little while. Like, this is what Tom and I and a lot of other people talked about before we drafted him. That, like, before we even saw him in the NFL, there's a difference between speed and quickness, especially at the NFL level.
Listen, he's like wide open at TCU. You just like people like I don't even like put a lot of stock in the highlight tapes, but when I watch him, I say, okay, what's this common theme? Like you watch Devontae Smith and you're watching him run like a million different routes in his highlight videos, right? So there's like this common sense, like, okay, this guy's running every route tree and he's still open. So it means he's a great route runner. You watch Justin Jefferson, same thing. He ran every type of route at LSU. My biggest question mark with Jamar Chase was, can he run every route? Because all he ran was the go. All the time in LSU, you watch him. It was Go City. Now, at the NFL level, that go route still wins for him. So he's a pimp. That was my question. Can that go route work for him at this level? Well, obviously he has no problem with it. So good, there you go. Right? I still will tell you that Devontae Smith, way better route runner. And if he had Joe Burrow, he's probably catching 12 passes a game right now.
He could beat you so many other different ways. That's the thing.
That's why I like. That's why I still stand by liking Devontae Smith better, and people can call me crazy, and I'll tell you who's one quarterback and who's the other. You know what I mean? So, to your point though, I don't think Reagor ever going to be the guy. I don't think he's ever going to be a number one. Thank God you have one, and you just hope Quez can be that guy, so you don't have to go back to the well. But you have so many picks next year that you could use one, and you could draft one in the third round. A bigger target that can turn into one, right?
Well, you say bigger, like that's what this wide receiver core still needs, a big-bodied wide receiver. And I know I can hear people typing now. Oh, Ryan, that's JJ Arcega-Whiteside. That's funny. That's cute. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what, if the guy was able to play, that's what he would be in this offense. He would be that go up and get it, bigger body possession receiver type thing. We still don't really have that.
And you know what? Sorry. One last thing on that. I don't know if you ever need it, though, because even though Devontae ain't big, he makes those types of catches, though.
He's open. So it's like a big-bodied receiver can make up for not being as quick or as shifty or as good with the route running just because I'm going to out-jump you or I'm going to out-body you.
Look at Kansas City. I mean, their big bodies come from, like, Kelsey. Their big bodies come from, like, their tight ends. It doesn't really come from their wide receivers, right? So you can get away with it if you have a big body like Dallas Goedert out there, right? Who can go up and get things and it's a little, is that big body in the red zone, right? So I mean, you can make up for not having it. Is my point. So you don't necessarily ever need it. You can have these three turn into the receivers that they're capable of turning into, but it all comes on what Quez is.
Yeah, no, that's the biggest thing.
But if Devontae's catching 8 balls a game, like you can have Jalen Reagor catch 4. It's fine. Like that's my point. It's fine, but you need the big plays. And he had a good punt return yesterday, but I mean, it was like wide open. But he had a good punt return. So, he had 3 catches. He really had 4 if you get the 1 call back. So fine day out of your second or third for the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And especially when we talk about the quarterback's not even going through his reads. So it's one and go. So then again, it hurts the judgment on him. But then you see Devontae catch 7 balls, and you're like, well, because he's a fucking pimp. So the other guy's always going to be open. That guy is not that guy, and you can see it.
And he's got the opposing defense's number 1 cornerback on him too. You know what I'm saying? That's the other. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone on the defense, like where's Devontae? And he still gets open. So that's the other thing too. And I know he's like a folk hero in the city. It's twofold. One, I don't ever need to see Greg Ward in the red zone ever again. I don't know why they're hell-bent on putting him in the red zone. And if I see one more friggin' pick play bubble screen in the red zone, I might fly through the TV.
Yeah, I got no time for the bubble screens. Picks in the red zone with little guys. I'm all good with trying to create space that way, right? Because like a lot of teams do it. But can we just stop with the penalties? I mean, that's the thing. When we go back and blame the offense, who's more to blame to our poll question, and we both agreed it's Nick Sirianni more so than Jalen Hurts, and that's not giving Jalen passes on the things that he needs to get better at. That's just saying this guy's not put him in a position to be successful. The other thing this guy's done for his football team is now yesterday was a little bit better, even though you got a touchdown taken off the goddamn board, so it's not a little bit better, right? Is the penalties. I mean, you lead the National Football League in penalties. So yes, you went down this past week compared to weeks before, but you got to get it cleaned up to show me that you have a control over your football team. So we're going to find out Thursday night on a short week how penalized is this team. If this team penalized 7, 8, 9, 10 times again, man, I don't care if it's a rebuild. Like then you have no discipline. Your coach doesn't have the ability to hold players accountable and to have a disciplined football team on Thursday, Sunday, or Monday, right? That's what I need to see. I mean, my takeaways Thursday, more so to wins, losses, come to, are you going to run the fucking football at all, you jackass? And is your team going to be disciplined? Because the only way you stay in a football game against a team that's way better than you is if you do those 2 things well.
Well, what's funny too, Tom?
And you got to run the football a little bit.
You know who we obviously know we're number 1 in the NFL with penalties. As far as the most penalized team, do you know who number 2 is?
Jacksonville?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, interesting. Well, you
Penalties-
get away with greatness.
Penalties against, exactly. Penalties against the Eagles have 50. The Bucks have 40. Total flags thrown.
Don't smoke them.
I know. It's a landslide. Total flags thrown. Eagles 54, first in the league. Bucks 43, fifth in the league.
Yup. That's crazy. Wayne, yup, and great takeaways. Defense did a really good job at it this week. I can't say enough good things. I mean, Sam Donald stinks. I'll continue to say that the wheels fall off, but he's not good enough. And when you get pressure on him, you start seeing ghosts and just throws balls up. And your defense was opportunistic, and this is what you need him to be. And the one great thing about turnovers is like baseball, hitting's contagious. I think they roll into Thursday a little bit. I think you take the football away once or twice Thursday somehow, just because I think they roll over. It might be like a fumble. I'm not saying picks. I'm just saying turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
I think you get some turnovers Thursday night. Short week too. I can see some turnovers because they're contagious, and they have to be, right? Like when we all talked about this football team, I know you messaged me earlier like, oh, man, am I crazy to say it could be 8-5? And I said, who are you asking? I mean, you're asking a guy who said that if they ran the foot, like I want to be clear on that too, right? When we talk about predictions, I'm putting myself in as like, okay, well, what do you got to do well to get there? And it was never like, okay, Jalen's going to spin it all over the yard on people. It was, you got to lead. You got to be top 5 in the National Football League in running the football. And I can't believe they're not. I can't. Where are they at running the football? Where do they rank? Because the only way they're ranking anywhere decent is because of Hurts running the ball. Because they don't run it.
Let me see.
It's a fucking joke, guys. I can't believe we're out there not smoking this dude all the time. Nick Sirianni's a fraud. He's a fraud.
And I think a lot of us, I always have said this with any predictions, that we predict a season how it's going to go based off of if like we were the head coach. You know what I'm saying, Tom? Like if you had control with what you're going to, because all you can judge preseason is the roster.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't predict how they're going to coach, especially if we've never seen them before.
No. Like you go Doug, you say, okay, 55-45, right? Or 60-40. Maybe he throws a little bit too much, but they still ran the football. Like you never expected 75-25.
No way.
Or whatever the fuck it is. It's in meaningful football. It's like that's what it is. In meaningful snaps. If that's a stat, like meaningful snaps.
Yeah, significant stat. Or what? That's like a baseball thing, right? Like what is it called? Not significant innings.
What, like pitching or hitting?
Yeah, pitching.
Oh yeah, like I'm sure they have weird. The baseball has the craziest stats of all time. Julio, I agree with you. I drafted him too in one of my leagues because I thought that they would run the football. That's what I was told all season. I was told Nick Sirianni loves running the football. And that's his MO.
I have the answer.
Why?
Where they, I went to the cloud.
Yeah.
Where they rank as far as attempts rushing in the NFL. 32.
From running backs? Or that's
the league rank in the offense for rushing attempts. We've attempted 113 rushes this year.
Remember, your quarterback's counting into this too.
Yes. And we're still 30. We're
dead last. We're 32?
No, I'm sorry, 27. The league rank on our offense is 27th. Our defense is 32. So we've given up the most rushes, 167.
And we're 27th in the league in rushing, and your quarterback's counting to the 27th in the league. What a disgrace! What a disgrace! You got a young quarterback. What is going on here? How is this real life? I still can't believe we won a football game, and I'm disgusted having to look at the T-shirt. I'm disgusted by the visor. I'm disgusted by the highlighter, and I'm a 60-40 pass guy. But you got to have the personnel to do it, you idiot. You don't have the personnel. He's a young quarterback that's not there in terms of going through progressions yet. He's not there yet. He needs to learn it still. Oh my goodness. Dak Prescott was a I'm not comparing Jalen to Dak. Dak was even more of like a guy who would one look and go a little bit earlier on. right? If he didn't see something he liked. But he had Ezekiel Elliott. They ran the football. They took pressure off of him. Play action opens up. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Could you imagine a play action with Quez Watkins and Devontae Smith if you actually fucking ran the ball? Could you guys imagine it? These guys would be running. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is what I thought coming into the year, how Jalen could be successful, right? I sat here because I'm a hater of Jalen, remember, right? But I sat here and gave a blueprint on how Jalen Hurts could be successful. And what I say, running the ball, being top 5 in the league, because your quarterback's going to run the ball too, which should help you in those rankings, okay? And then on top of it, it opens up play action. And you can make big plays. He can scramble around and make big plays. He can have 30-yard rushes because people are worried about him putting it in the belly, right? What a joke. Yeah,
I'm gonna make you even more angry in a second. And Mr. Wing, they're 13th in yards. We're talking about attempts. So this is actually worse. When they do it, it works.
And Mr. Wing, I guarantee the running back attempts are 32 in the National Football League. I can guarantee you that. If you take out Jalen, they're 32nd.
Oh, absolutely. If we had Joe Flacco as the quarterback, our rush, offense and defense would literally be 32-32.
Yep.
Talk about one friggin' dimensional. And we were complaining last season because we didn't run the ball.
Right? This 27th in attempts. This is what this was.
Yes.
So,
We're not talking about what we do with it. We're talking about, hey, we want him to run the ball more. And Nick Sirianni, we do run the ball. It's called a screenplay. No. That's to throw, Nick. The quarterback's throwing the ball. Thank you, Jeremiah. What is this? Trees.
Not back. Not the back, Nick.
Oh, sorry. I got to go back to
Jeremiah. Sorry, I'll get right to that. I'll get right to that. But John Coyle said, "What's up, boys? Not the back, Nick, but he does call 25% RPOs, and Hurts makes the call never to run it. Just my view. Yeah, I think there's part of that.
I feel like, though, John, and that's a good point, but if Nick had a problem with that, he would communicate, like, dude, opt into the run more. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Nick was against what Jalen Hurts is doing at the line, hypothetically, communicate that.
Mm-hmm.
Communicate it. We're in 5 weeks. You're in constant communication with your quarterback, right?
Okay, we're going to have to put it in the belly more, bud.
Yes, figure it out.
Going to need it in the belly. Jeremiah, thank you for the super chat. We really appreciate it, brother. He said, we're missing the forest for the trees, guys. The no-run scheme is an organizational decision. Unfortunately, we can't really assess this coach because of the front office. I agree with you. I just don't want to sit here and talk about the front office because I said enough about how much of a joke they are and how they want to throw the football all day, right? But we already know that. So now it's just an onslaught of the coach and whatever. Like, what are we going to do, right?
We're onslaughting him again because everything we've seen is proving us right from when we were ripping the hire all the way back in the spring.
Yeah, that it was a puppet. It was so that Jeffrey and Howie can have control of day-to-day football stuff, right? Jeremiah, this is going to get me triggered. I can't believe I'm doing this. I got a fucking money guy and a movie producer handling my football. That's what I got, handling my football. I mean, at least Jerry Jones has oil money. Who's smart.
And he had a friggin' dynasty. Like, I know I wasn't alive for that. So, like, but again, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just reported.
I got tortured at 11, 12 years old of Emmett just having freaking, I could drive a tractor trailer through the hole. Okay. I mean, just running wild and Michael catching everything. But, I mean.
So at least it was not of my lifetime, but at least it happened. So he does have some pull. Jeffrey Lurie's living off of 1 year, and the year was great. I'll always be thankful for it. But it's like, dude, you didn't have a dynasty. You thought you did.
You won because you won over these years because you allowed football people to do football people things.
Mm-hmm.
You allowed Andy Reid to do football people things. You allowed Chip Kelly to a fault to do football things, but he drafted well. We all know that. Chip's an idiot. Not an idiot as a coach. He just wasn't. He was the opposite of Nick, right? The complete opposite. In turn, he won't even talk to you, supposedly. So you got one way or the highway, and then you went in the middle, right? Then you went to the middle higher. right? Where you went to the player coach, but the football guy who understands it, right? Who understands what it takes to play in the league, right? Backup or not, right? Been around the game for a long time as an assistant too. So you at least brought somebody in that was a football guy. Then because that didn't work out because he wanted a part of the table, then you went and hired a puppet that will do whatever you want. And this is where we're at.
They won all those years ago because it feels like all those years ago because for 1 year, he actually got out of the friggin' way.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they got out of the way, to your point, Tom, they had success and he's like, oh, I want to put my name on this. Oh, I don't want to just be the old guy dancing in the locker rooms after the games. I want to make decisions. I want to go and make speeches. I want to do this. And it's like, no, Jeffrey, just sit in your office with the TV screens and make a couple phone calls if we need you. No disrespect.
Yeah. Somebody was saying, I get the Ted says holding the ball too long on RPOs causes a legal man downfield. Yep. Mr. Wing says no more RPOs. Olsen was saying in the game, 5-step drops. Hurts made his best throws. Yeah, I mean that's true. I don't want to get rid of the RPO because I think it for him it plays. It's a weapon for him. I need the RPO. I'll put it in the belly too.
Well, thank you. I was gonna say it can't be a successful RPO if you don't do the R in the RPO.
Yeah, you never do it, then it doesn't become that.
PO. It's just PO.
Yep.
Pass option. It's not run pass option if you don't run. You know why the RPO worked in 2017, everybody, with Nick Foles? Because they ran it. They ran it with a giant blunt.
Yeah. So the linebackers came up and had it, and then Nick got all those slants wide open, and then
Alshon's coming down the sidelines with 20 feet wide open. You know why? Because the run was a threat. I'm not like you know what I'm saying? Like we're just guys, Tom. We're just people that just scream into a microphone. Why is it that we know this? Why?
I don't know.
Like, why is it so easy?
Sorry, I was reading Hurts outplays Brady. Jeremiah, couldn't be truer again. Thanks for the super chat again, my brother. Got to stop funding this mess. People need to let Lurie know they're not paying for this foolishness, including Howie. I would love it. Somebody said a GoFundMe up for A2D to buy the Eagles. Right? We love that GoFundMe. Come on. Who's going to be the person? Who's going to be the person? And while you're at it, maybe you can win enough money to become the Eagles owner, guys. All you got to do is sign up for A2D membership. You get picks from Nate Moss, Money Pop Podcast, as well as Willie Vegas. These guys are cleaning up, dude, and they're showing receipts. And I'm telling you, for $9.99 a month, it's a no-brainer. Okay?
It's a steal.
It's a steal. Like, just that alone. Just that alone is a steal. And then you get to become in the member wheel. You get the jersey giveaways once or twice a week. Steve gives giveaways. I can't tell you people enough. Our members will tell you. There's a ton of members watching right now, I'm sure. So let these people know, guys. Become a member. Become a member. Let's go.
I got to give Nate a lot of credit with this too, because the amount of stuff, and obviously our members see it, so they can speak for it. The amount of things and picks that Nate gives you just on a Sunday it's like, I honestly, and I'm not saying this because like I'm a part of it. I've never seen one guy give so many friggin' picks and hit on them. You know what I'm saying? Like we're doing our thing every Sunday. We're checking it on social, and Nate's just dishing out more and more and more and more. I'm like, this guy's still going. You know what I'm saying? So
winning.
It's not like Nate's giving you like 3 picks for the entire week and that's it. No, he's giving you a friggin' boatload
of picks. And what's crazy is I'm so into my, I'm so into my my own liking to pick what I like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your bubble.
Yeah, like I got to start following,
mm-hmm.
right? Like I got to start following every weekend. And I'm almost worried too that I don't want to mush it. So part of me is like, you know what? Maybe I just don't follow. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to mush for the people. So I've actually not followed because I don't want to mush the people. You believe it? But become an HUD member. Who's going to become one? It's pinned right in our comments over on YouTube. Pinned right there. Become one. Let's go, people. Give me a member right now. God damn it. You get in the member wheel. You become a member right now, too. Tell me you don't want to become in the member wheel. 121 people watching on YouTube right now. Let's
I'll tell
go.
you, if we get a member, I'll do, because this is popular demand. Because, Tom, you mentioned it on the open of the show last Wednesday of like, why, like, oh, we should have done this for something we're doing every Wednesday, which is we do the locks of the week, right? You know, we just give it out free. And you made a great point, Tom. You're like, why are we not keeping track of it? You know what I'm saying? That way it's like a contest within ourselves type.
Yep, exactly.
So by popular demand, because I got a lot of texts and we got a lot of comments about that, like, oh, you guys got to go back and see how you've done and then track it. I have our records right on my screen. So if we get them what, say that again?
Our personal records?
Yep. For all, just the locks. Just the locks. Yes.
Okay.
So if we get a member, I'll reveal them. I was going to wait until Wednesday because I'll tell you what, 2 people look good right now, and so maybe some other people probably don't want me to release these numbers.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. You're in the clear.
Okay, I don't know what side I stand on.
No. And it's skewed because it's kind of skewed because you and I, Tom, give out a lot more locks than, for example, Noah. You know what I'm saying?
True. Yeah.
Like, so the numbers are different, but I've got the winning percentage in here. So you and I are on the right side of things. That's why I made sure I put it out in the public.
Okay, fair.
If we were sitting at like a 13% winning percentage, I'd be like, we'll just put this away.
We'll hide this. Jay, I gave a rant earlier on, very beginning of the show. So, and a couple others since then. They're coming. They come.
I want to pull the room, and Tom alluded to it a few minutes ago, and I know I'm probably being reckless with this, but I don't care. We won. I don't know the next time we're going to win a football game, so just let me have my fun. Okay. I texted.
Always comment real quick. Hold on. Molly commented, and it's on YouTube, but it's not coming up in the back end of StreamYard. That's crazy. Molly said, "What's up, guys? Become a damn member right now." He's been a member for 5 months on the no notes tier, Molly, but it's not coming up on StreamYard. It's unbelievable. What are they doing that to one of our guys for? We see you, Maul. We see you, baby. And Jesse just said something. Member for 3 months, Jesse Vargas. Hey guys, is there a team that surprised you this year? Yeah, we'll talk about that stuff, but it's not coming up on StreamYard.
Oh, it's like a new feature. It's like this thing.
Yeah, you see that?
So StreamYard, they probably don't know what to do with their hands. StreamYard, because it's like
okay. Well, I see you guys. We see you. We see you, Jesse, baby. We see you, Molly Maul.
It's like a big bold thing. They've got like a whole thing.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool. Look at that. People on YouTube say it.
I texted Tom a couple hours ago and I said, "Am I wrong? Because if I'm wrong, just slap me in the face for this. Is there like a possible way we could be 8-5 on December the 5th? Because I'm looking at it, right? And like, I don't want to do the same thing we did with the Phillies back in August and September. So we're like, oh, it's an easy schedule, guys. How can you not make the playoffs? Before we realize, like, oh, wait, the Phillies are the Phillies and they just stink. Because like, I don't want to like jump into like, oh, we can win a ton of these games because I'm still not sure if like we stink. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy we won, but I don't know if we stink. We still might be like a bad team, or we're just like a young team that's going to learn as they go type thing. And we've also gone through the gauntlet. I have to keep reminding myself that like the last 4 or 5 weeks have been hell on earth for any team, just the schedules and the offenses that we faced. Because I look and say, okay, realistically, we lose this week. So that would be 2-4. You then go to the Raiders that I know you like them, Tom, but they're not unbeatable. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go to Vegas and beat them, right?
Yep.
So then you're sitting at 3-4.
Yeah, I'm not like I liked them up until, I thought they were looking good up until the last 2 weeks. Obviously, they don't look like the same football team.
No, and they've had a lot of injuries too. So you're sitting at 3-4, which I think coming out of that gauntlet that we talked about for the first 7 weeks, we would be like, oh, okay, it could be worse. It could be worse. Then you're going after the Lions, you're better than the Lions. And I'm not even saying that makes us good. It's just the Lions aren't good. So then you're looking at, okay, say you win that game, 4-4. You lose to the Chargers, fine, 4-5. You go to Denver, you steal that game, 5-5. The Saints, the Saints lost to the Giants. They're coming here. That's a winnable game. Then you go to the Giants, that's a winnable game. The Jets, Washington. Back to the Giants. Back to Washington and the Cowboys. There's some bad teams on that schedule, Tom.
Where do you think 10 was floating in that? Right? You know,
that episode back in May, Tom, we were like 7-game winning streak, November to January. It might not be that crazy.
That's probably crazy.
Oh, it is crazy. It's crazy. We're having fun with this.
But it's absolutely could happen. I mean, it all depends on this coach deciding to run the football, right? And the other side of it is, can Jalen get better? Can Jalen develop? I mean, that's what we have to see throughout this year. Can he develop? I don't know. I don't know if he can get better, but they're all winnable games, those ones. You know what I mean? They're all absolutely winnable games. Will they win them? Who knows?
Is the member link pinned on YouTube, Tom? Did Ralphie not do that? I just realized that. I don't see it.
No, it's not pinned. No, an asshole. No wonder we didn't get many members.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what's happening here?
No wonder. And people on YouTube can pound the like button too. I mean, I don't know what we're all doing over there. I don't know what we're doing. Pound the goddamn like. And while you're at it and the show's over, before the next show on A2D starts up, the Sports Hounds, get 20% off free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Go use the promo code. Do it, family. And tonight, before Monday Night Football, you can go get your lineup in. FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points. $50 value. FanUp.app or right on the Apple Store. Go check them out. Do it. And listen, there's 5,000 bonus points. I mean, you're putting lineups in for a minute for free, and then you get the bonus points for just signing up. Go do it. Become a. Oh, it's Sports Sounds in the back.
Jesus.
How are you? Sports Sounds coming up next on A2D.
Oh, that was Ralphie. Ralphie's in the back.
Yeah, I know it's happening. Not my first rodeo.
Here he comes flying in.
Not my first rodeo in here. But yeah. So I mean, it's doable. It's doable. Is it realistic? It's realistic if they run the football maybe, and Jalen continues to grow.
Fam, I put the link in the chat. Let me know if it.
No, I see it in the chat. Yeah.
I just want to make sure it works.
Yeah. I don't know. Hold on. Yep, it works.
Okay, beautiful. Question for everybody. NFL related.
I mean, somebody's got to become a member so you can unveil the picks.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not doing that too.
We're out of this bitch. Yes, Eddie. Yes. The quarterback and head coach are the problem. I have no hope in his head coach, just a puppet of Howie Roseman's. Yes, and he needs to help Jalen grow. And Jalen did not look good yesterday at all for 3 quarters and some change. See, and that needs to grow, man. He's averaging 1.8 yards of completion, and that wasn't like early on. That was like a sample size. That was like, whoa, what's going on here? And it all goes back to him not going through progressions and these play calls. So it's like a combo on why some of these things are happening, especially when you talk about a younger guy. You know what I mean? A younger guy. You got to almost put him in position to be successful.
And this is where I got to I got to stop some people, right? Because I don't know if it's a Philadelphia thing, but people always got to take it too far. He finished off the game and he played well in the fourth quarter. Stop with the people saying, "Oh, he had an A game yesterday." He didn't look like an NFL quarterback for a majority of it, guys. He didn't. Yeah, he finished off well. That brings it up to like a C+. But stop with like, "Oh, he had an awesome game." No, he didn't, guys. He played well enough to win the game in the end. I give him credit for that.
Yeah, and you got to help your quarterback out, Bob, by running the football.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, Nick Sirianni was more to blame than Jalen Hurts for the offensive struggles this past week. And honestly, the team struggles the 2 weeks before that because he could help the team out by running the football against explosive offenses. And we're going to find out this week, Thursday night, if he decides to change his colors a little bit, his stripes, and run the ball a little bit. Help this kid out, man. I don't want to say – we've all talked about this. I want Jalen to be the guy because I don't owe – as an Eagles fan, in your best way, is to grow this team out as he is be the guy. Because you're not paying him like top 5 money, right? You're not doing all that. Yeah, and you can't throw the ball out of bounds on a free play, Jay North. There's questions. There's issues there. But at least help him out to allow him to grow to see if he can get better. You're not doing him any favors, and he hasn't played well enough anyway.
And it's crazy, Tom, like we talked about.
A2D, Jesse. That's a promo code for Body Check Wellness. And at Body Check Wellness, you get 25% off. 25% off over at Body Check Wellness. Go check out their line of products. Thanks, Jesse. 25% off their line of products. They're the best. I love them. I take the clarity and focus. I live by it. I stand by it. I've also taken their energy and endurance. They got so much stuff. Dude. And that's not even talking about the CBD stuff. I have the back roll for the CBD. I've tried their CBD gummies. They're delicious. Their dog treats for the pups are delicious. They're animal ones. So go check out all their stuff over at Body Check Wellness. The best.
And the problem is it's like the coaching staff's not even trying to help him with going to the run. And you see yesterday, just in the small sample size, everybody in that stadium at the end of the game knew that we were going to run the ball. And it worked. Like the Panthers knew we were going to run the ball at the end just to, run out the clock, before Miles Sanders ran out of bounds twice. And it worked. That's what I'm saying. Like you're 27th in attempts, but you're 13th in yards. What is that telling you? Well, if you did that more, that means your efficiency as far as yards would go up because you're more of a threat, and your attempts would go up, which would also help the passing game, the quote-unquote RPO without the R. Like I said, we're just guys here. Like, we're not trying to say, like, oh, we're trying to reinvent the offense.
No. You can just say you're a guy, right? You speak for yourself. I'm not fucking just a guy with this. I've been watching football, right? And not saying you haven't. I'm just saying I've been watching football fucking long enough. I've been around sports. I played fucking football, okay? I'm not crowning myself as that I'm smarter than guys who've been around the league forever, but I think I'm smarter than a lot of guys who've been around the league for a while. And Nick Sirianni's fucking one of them. So no, I'm not going to say that. I'll say there's a lot of guys smarter than me, right? But then there's guys who aren't. And Nick Sirianni is one of them.
Also, you're speaking as a coach, too. You're a coach.
Yeah, I don't coach football. I coach baseball, but still, I mean, I feel like I fucking can motivate guys way more than this fucking clown. There's so many things. So
I'm sure there's players of yours that would say, hey, you've put them in situations to succeed.
That's the whole goal.
Yeah.
When you're talking about who you're going to pitch when you're talking about your lineups or your positioning or any of that kind of stuff, it's all thought about. The kid's a part of that decision in my eyes. Like not him making a decision, me trying to put him in position to be successful, right? If I'm gonna bunt, squeeze, or if I'm gonna squeeze, or I'm gonna bunt to move a runner, it's all about putting the team and the player in position to be successful.
Yeah.
So you gonna bunt twice a game with a guy with no speed, right?
No, you're spot on.
You're gonna throw 40 plus times with a quarterback that needs to grow? I mean, it's equivalent. Equivalent to being a jackass. The jackass. The whole premise was this guy is great with his feet. So how can I help that out? Well, play action? Okay, but I can't play action if I don't run the ball. RPO's great, but I never run the ball. Play action, not even from RPO, just play action, period. All that kind of stuff to help him out.
That's right, Chris. He says teams know what plays are coming.
I do at home. I know you're throwing. And you're right. At the end of the game, you're able to run the football. You're able to do things. And it just shows you and you have a young offensive line.
4th and goal on the 1 yard line. You think he's running the ball or you think he's going to throw a screen? I know he's throwing a screen.
Yeah, if he doesn't throw a screen, he's play actioning.
Mm-hmm. Give me your biggest.
No, that's why I'll get fired, Feast and Pete. I'll get fired because I want to take shit from Howie and Jeffrey. I want to be allowed at the table.
There would be a brawl in the office. Give me your biggest winner of the week around the NFL and your biggest loser of the week.
Oh. Well, my biggest winner is going to be the Buffalo Bills. I mean, I know Kansas City defensively isn't any good. I get all that, but that's a big win for them. That's a team that's had their number essentially, and the beat a team you want to be, the Buffalo Bills. You got to go to Kansas City and beat the big bad wolf of the AFC. And they not only did that, they made Kansas City drop to 2-3. And man, I mean, you want to talk about the best team in the NFL, in my opinion, it's the Buffalo Bills. It's the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they just can do it on both sides of the football. They're not one-dimensional. They can run the football. You know, Josh Allen doesn't even have to be great from the pocket for them to be fucking explosive. I mean, they have so many different ways to hurt you. And defensively, they might be one of the most underrated defenses around that nobody talks about. I mean, they got players on every level. They're tough. They're well coached. You know, I don't know where I had them in my rankings last week, but man, they might be the number one team, if not two. If you want to say Tampa is better, fine. Like if I want to say the defending champs until somebody beats them, so I'll give Tampa the edge. But they're the class of the AFC right now.
Mm-hmm. Tampa's
the class of the NFC. They're class of the AFC. I mean, I know Arizona is everybody's team and they're darling, great. But I'm going to go with Tampa. I'm going to go with the defending champs and Tom Brady in the NFC over Arizona right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just will. It's not a shot at Arizona. They're the second best team in the NFC. They're just not one.
No.
I mean, and then the Rams are third in the NFC, right? In my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But in the AFC, it's the fucking Bills. And the winner of the week's the Bills. I mean, you go there and beat them. I don't care how banged up they are, how not good they are defensively. That's a big win.
I'll before we go to our losers, I'll say my biggest winner. And see, I was going to go where Molly Mall's going, but I'll let him have his moment. I'll get to that in a second. And I'll say it with a question, right? Because my biggest winner of the week is Justin Herbert. Could you make an argument?
Yeah, I forget to go players on that. Yeah, go ahead.
Could you make an argument the Chargers are the second best team in their conference?
Yes.
Okay. Because they've beaten the Chiefs now. You know what I'm saying? They beat the Browns, who I have the Browns being the AFC representative in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, you remember me. I thought the Browns would beat them this week.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the worst the Browns defense has played, you know, and I expected a way better performance out of their defense. And that was a shootout. But yeah, I mean, yes, they are right now the second best team in the AFC.
There's just nothing Herbert can't do. He looks so, you know what's crazy? He looks calmer on 4th and long than he does on 1st and long. Like, how many times did he have, like, in the fourth quarter alone, 4th and 7, 4th and 3, 4th and 5, that him and Brandon Staley, they're like, okay, we're just going to go for it. This guy just looks so freaking calm. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no urgency. It's like, okay, I'm just going to throw this pass here. And I know it helps that you have, you know, two freaking basketball players in as far as the size. Keenan Allen, who's I think 6'3", and Mike Williams, who's 6'4". But my God.
Yeah, I would take Herbert over Allen. I agree, Marley. I agree there. And the Bills are a better roster. Because Chargers defense is good, but to me they're not as good as the Bills defense.
Well, the Chargers' biggest question is, aside from injuries, they had a completely revamped offensive line.
Yeah, so
and they look absolutely locked down, steady right now. So they're absolutely. We've been talking about the Chargers. I feel like since Phillip Rivers has been there, like, this is the year they're going to figure out, because they have so much talent. It looks like this is the year. I'm not saying they're going to the bowl or anything, but they have the guy to orchestrate the offense, and a friggin' awesome one at that.
Well, you know what it is, Ryan? It's been like this for years in San Diego when they're in San Diego and in LA. that even last year in Herbert's rookie year, I mean, the amount of leads that they gave up is astounding. Is astounding. Like you would be like, whoa, like if you're a Chargers fan, you're like, man, we are right there. And this year they're not doing that, right? And one's the maturation of a young quarterback, right? And the maturation process is, oh, whatever fight you want to get into, I'm in. You want to get into a shootout, I'll score last. You want to get into a dogfight, I'll score last. And that's what you're seeing. And Justin Herbert's the real deal. I thought he was the real deal coming out. I thought he was the best quarterback in that draft. I didn't really care what people said. I stand by it. I know I watched enough of him at Oregon to see how he was, his arm strength, his ability to run around. But him and Josh Allen are very similar in their skill sets. But to me, Herbert is better at progressions. Josh Allen's got so much better at that, honestly. But, man, you want to talk about a dogfight in the AFC, that's a flat-out dogfight.
Mm-hmm.
Because that could be – but I think the Bills have the edge because I think the Bills will get more stops. I just see the Bills getting more stops. And that's where I give them the edge.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
Because I think both quarterbacks arguably are neck and neck with each other. I'll take Herbert over them, but, I mean, man, it's hard not to say you won't take Josh Allen.
Yeah, I think the reason why
it's hard not to say, like you put them both out there, pick one, Tom. I'm like this.
Yeah, I mean, none of us are losing sleep if we have Allen. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know which one to grab with my hand. I don't know which one to pull over to me.
I think the thing that moves the needle for the both of us, and you know this, like I didn't think Herbert was nearly going to be this good coming out of college. I didn't. I thought he was just going to be a fine, good quarterback, like almost a game manager. I never would have thought he had this ceiling.
How does it make no sense, Lord? They're the defending champions. They're 4-1. They're not 3-2. They're 4-1, and they're banged up.
Lord, Tom's basically saying because we've seen the Bucs do it with a bigger sample size. I know he's technically, they got
the greatest quarterback of all time until somebody goes and beats them. I'm an asshole. If they're 3-2, then absolutely it's Arizona. Arizona's also got to prove to me, right? I mean, they won big games. Don't get me wrong. They won a big game this week, right? They won big games every week essentially, but. Come on, we're grasping at straws here. When you say, well, Tom, that makes like that doesn't make sense. If that's what you're saying, like to me that makes a ton of sense. I'm saying they're the defending champs. They're explosive as all hell on offense. They have injuries defensively, but they're 4-1. Yeah, they've done nothing to lose the number one spot besides injuries.
I think your power rankings, and again, everyone could critique it differently. It's okay if you had one game, if you needed to win one game for the sake of your life, you believe more in the Bucs than the Arizona Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? Like if you could bet on one team, you're betting on the Bucs.
Yeah, I don't know what I know what the Cardinals are, and I know what Kyler Murray is. But they got Tom Brady, and they got a winner, so somebody's got to beat them. I'm not saying Arizona couldn't. To me, Tampa's the number one team in the NFC, and we'll find out Thursday night because they come in here and cough a game up, and that's right out the window.
They might go from 1 to 7.
Yeah,
1 in the NFC to 7th in the NFC. Your biggest loser of the week, player or team, either one. I have a feeling you might take mine too.
It's a good one. I'm thinking.
Marky Mark says biggest losers: Packers, Bengals, kickers. The kickers from the Packers-Bengals game: McPherson and Parkey.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I want to go player or team. I'm going to go Washington.
Damn you! Damn it! Damn! I knew you were going to do that.
Did you?
I knew it. It's the answer though. It's the answer.
So this is what we got, right? When we talk about the Giants, and I mean when we talk about Washington, this great defense and a defensive minded guy in Ron Rivera, right? I mean, week 1, okay, 2016 the Chargers, you're in a dogfight. That's fine. That's a good defensive effort. We know what the Chargers are offensively. After that, you flat out got exposed defensively. You won a game, but gave up 29 to the Giants. You gave up 43 to the Bills. You got 30 to the Falcons. And the Saints come in at home on you, and they put up 33. So my biggest loser is that defense.
Yep.
And the defensive-minded head coach, and they're getting exposed defensively. Well, that's a major problem. That's a major problem. It's one thing if you're not scoring and all that, right? It's one thing that. But you can't. They got to be somebody's loser when you talk about their defense side of the football there. And you're going to have Hail Marys. You're giving up Hail Marys that look like easy. Like, wow, okay.
Like, I'm not saying if this continues, it's going to get people fired. Like, I'm not saying Ron Rivera should get fired, but you have all those friggin' weapons up front. Okay, Tom and I have been saying this. We knew their secondary was still suspect. We knew that. But their front seven, their linebackers, everything that goes into it. You have all of that young talent. And either all of that young talent, and yeah, it looks like a Chase Young. I completely agree with that, San 8. Either all those guys are overrated as hell, or the coaching there is somehow worse than Jonathan Gannon. Because, like, you expanded it, Tom, and I thank you for that. Like, a lot of those teams, like the Falcons, you're giving up that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these teams, like the Bills, okay, if you want to get boat raced by the Bills, fine. But the Saints offense literally doesn't have an identity. And you're giving up Hail Marys, to your point, Tom. Like, the Saints offense is still trying to figure things out. So, as talked up as they were, like, oh, you don't need Ryan Fitzpatrick. You don't need Fitzpatrick to be good. You just need him to be okay. Because our defense isn't going to allow more than 7 points. Like, you remember preseason, Tom? Like, Washington fans were coming in, they're like, oh, having Fitzpatrick is a luxury because now we're going to score and beat teams by 30. What? You're giving up like 30-something points to the Saints? Mm-hmm. Come on now. Like, what do you do well? Like, McLaurin's really good. Heineke's not good enough to be scoring friggin' shootouts. If your defense was half of what it was advertised to be, okay.
Listen, it's ugly. It's ugly. If you're a Washington fan, I mean, you must discuss how you play defense with all the assets you use defensively and a defensive-minded head coach. You know what I mean? You would feel like that's easy money, easy. That they were gonna be damn good defensively. Kyle, I'll answer this one.
It's a great question. It's a great question.
Yes, absolutely. Like, and listen, we pride ourselves in just keeping it 100. If anybody says they can't, I think you're saying, well, they never do. I get that. They don't. They haven't. But man, when you go up and down a fucking roster, woo.
You could argue they have the MVP and the Defensive Player of the Year on the same roster.
Yeah, got my kid, one of my sons, Hurts. But the Molly earlier, man, he's a pimp, dude. He's a stud.
That guy's gonna get paid.
He's a turnover machine. You know, that's what happens when you're a wide receiver originally, right? You turn yourself into a D-back. You have the hands for the takeaways. That's a big part of it. Really developed. And listen, the reason why they can is Dan Quinn. And that's bigger than anything. What's the least talked about thing when you talk about teams in the NFL is when you start talking about their coordinators, right? And when you can go and talk about a guy like Dan Quinn, who was a tremendous coordinator with the Legion of Boom in Seattle, right? That's what got him a head coaching job. Didn't work as a head coach per se, right? Okay, But then guess what? Came back, right? Took a minute off, reevaluated how he goes about things, and listen, man, he's a fucking great defensive coordinator, and that's a big part of their success too. With a lot of their young talent, is Dan Quinn. So, I mean, when you talk about the classes of the NFC, I mean, Dallas is sure as hell better be in your top 5, and can make the argument that they're 3, they're 4, right? I mean, you can make that argument, and they're real close to that 1 spot, and they're real close to all that. No, I didn't see your. We didn't see your super chat.
It's StreamYard, and I think we had a member too, Tom, because there was a thing up here. StreamYard isn't showing it right now.
Jesus God, StreamYard.
Whoever became a member, thank you, because it has it had the bold thing.
StreamYard.
StreamYard, come on, this is a Victory Monday. StreamYard.
How far up?
It was a while ago. It was like 10 minutes ago. No, like it wasn't in the chat, but like up here, Tom. You know when like there's like a circle. When there's like a new member, like there's a thing at the top. It's like a book.
Oh, great. Become a member, guys. Become a member. You make your money.
Again.
Nate and Wilson are killing it. Ryan will drop the link in there again. Jeremiah, thank you. He said Barkley, the biggest loser, won't get paid now. Yeah.
I'll actually switch it because I completely agree with the defense on Washington, but I'll actually change it for the sake of argument. My biggest loser of the week, Juju Smith-Schuster. And it's actually a shame. Like, I know a lot of people, make fun of him for the TikToks and all that stuff, but this looks like it's just going to go down as an absolute tactical mistake with your contract. I listen, I give anyone credit who wants to bet on themselves, but he took less money, less guarantees to come back and bet on himself on the Steelers. He could have gotten a ton of guaranteed contracts with a lot of years. And now he's injured and he's going to be out for the season. From where he was at the start of last year to now, it actually makes me sad to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like it's horrible.
Yeah, his value's dropped so much. You know what I mean? It really has. Really has.
I never thought he was that good, really. Like I thought like the hype around him was kind of overrated just because people kind of gravitated towards him once Antonio Brown was gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they don't need him. But he really didn't have a good season last year. There was a lot of stuff that like, oh, maybe he doesn't love football, this or that. Then he doesn't take the contract and he comes back and he was struggling. The team stinks. Now he's hurt. It's sad, man. You know, it's really, really sad. And I'm rooting for him to have a resurgence in his career to where his next contract, maybe he can get some of that value back because, I mean, he had it. When you talk about he literally fumbled the bag. Like, I feel like what Dennis Schroeder did? Everyone was making fun of him. Like, oh, he turned down all that money with the Lakers and then he didn't get it and then he signed like a 1-year deal with the Celtics. This is like 10 times worse than that.
Yeah, and he'll still pop up somewhere and get a 1-year deal, like maybe not even prove it deal. I mean, he might even get a couple years because guys get injured all the time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he still might get money, but it's probably definitely not as much as he was going to get.
Oh yeah, like I see some of the comments. Like he'll play. Like his career's not over, guys. I'm not saying that he's still very young, but I'm just saying like he had money literally waiting for him, and now he's probably not going to get anywhere close to that money for another 2 contracts because now he's going to have the prove it deal to earn it back, and then he's going to have to play really well to earn the trust, and then maybe he'll get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. We agree, Rob. He's young. He's still really young, so he'll bounce back on his feet. Just he'll have to wait to get all the money. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's it.
You want to talk about the idiot for a second?
Yeah, let's talk about the idiot. We got the Sports Sounds coming up here at 7:15, so we'll wrap it up here. We'll do our member wheel, okay. And the show too for a Kobe Bryant jersey. Mm-hmm. So you can become a member. We'll drop the link in there again for you. Become a member. You can hop on the wheel. Come a wheel. Come a wheel guy. Hop on it. Listen, I mean, I don't want the guy back. I'm over him, right? I think I speak for everybody. We're over it. And we, like I opened it up with in the show when we were talking about it a little bit, is that, he said he didn't want to be here. He didn't want to talk to nobody. And then he started hitting the guy's pockets, and now it's like we're open to sit down now. You weren't open to sit down with anybody before. You weren't open to sit down with your teammates. Nothing. Nobody. All right? And now, all of a sudden, you can't buy another Ferrari, or you're worried about your payments. And guess what? We're ready to talk. We would come back. How does that work? And that's my question to everybody out there. How does that work if he comes back after all this? all this offseason, all this scrutiny, all this stuff he said or has been reported, what his teammates have said. How do you come back? How? How the hell do you come back from that? How is a fan base, when there's 20,000 people in the Wells Fargo, going to handle that? We already know you're a mental goddamn midget. All that being said, now we expect him to grow. He's going to grow in this environment, in an environment that he didn't want to be in until the pockets got hit. This is a joke. If he's back on this basketball team, I'm going to be sick to my stomach. Sick to my goddamn stomach. And it shows me that this organization has no balls. No balls. No balls. Bye, girl. All right? Send them anywhere. Any deal. It's fucking loser. And now he wants back. All right, what? You can't buy your Uggs anymore? How's the Wells Fargo going to handle this? How's this fan base when we do live reactions on opening night Wednesday, if he's playing?
Next week?
How's that going to go? Is that going to be kumbaya? The only way that motherfucking shit is kumbaya, honey, is if you come out and drop 30 and you're hitting jumpers. And you're like, woo, who's this? That ain't happening. So how does kumbaya happen? And that's not even kumbaya. That's just saying us as a fan base will say, all right, well, you know what? I know it's not. I know the all season was bad, right? Like that's what we would say. We would not put our tail between our legs, but we'd all say, okay, right? That's not going to happen, though.
I don't listen. We talked about it before, and we declare. I mean, I declared dead. You know, he was dead to me the second after the playoffs happened. I'm not even saying this because of what happened in the playoffs, because that's old news, right? He's not allowed in the building. He's not allowed in the building, Tom. It's as simple as that. He's not allowed in the building. If I had any say in what happened in the day-to-day operations in this organization, I'm not letting him in the building. I don't care if we're not giving him his money. You cannot allow him to be in the same room as these people, because if they take him back, forget about them being the most understanding group of individuals and athletes I've ever seen. You're right, Tom. Then I start to question how locked in they are as far as win, because you're beyond a distraction. And like people were talking on Twitter, like, okay, what does he need to do to win the city back? And like, I get the people like, oh, well, if he starts to shoot and if he plays really well, then we'll look past it. I'm not even letting it get to that point, because everything that it is, it's hollow, right? Like we talked about this before. Ben Simmons on this team at face value is better than Simmons not on this team. Mm-hmm. I'm saying, like, unless we know what we're getting in return for Simmons, we're a better team with him. I'm not going to say he's a bad player. I can't stand the guy. I think the guy's a freaking creep. But the guy brings us stuff that we don't have without him. But you can't let him in the building. You can't. And now you're going through all this, and it just shows what this really is. He's going to do just enough to get his money. Mm-hmm. He's going to play hard enough to get his all-star votes, and he's going to shut it down. He's going to play just hard enough to get that max contract and then coast. And that's fine. I'm not saying you need to be in it for the love of the game. You're not the only one. You won't be the last one. I do not accept an apology. I don't accept a resignation. I accept nothing. I feel like the only thing you could do is pull a freaking Game of Thrones where you're putting him in the friggin' Cersei Lannister treatment.
Yeah.
To where he's going down hands and knees on Broad Street, repenting for his friggin' sins with the friggin' bell. Sin, sin, sin. Shame. Like, what? If he does that, okay, maybe I'll be understanding. You're all in it for the money, Ben. And you think we were that dumb? You think we were going to let you sit at home and now you're shocked that you're not getting your money?
Yeah. We all know what it was. As soon as you didn't get paid, now it's, oh, shit. Oh, well, I'm ready to talk, guys. You guys want to talk? Anybody want to talk to me? I'm ready to talk. Like that's what it's become. That's what happened, right? That's what we watched happen here. And that's why it's a flat out disgrace. You know what I mean? That's why it's a flat out disgrace that this is even happening. Okay, because it's all about his goddamn money. And that's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line, right? And the things you said. You didn't want to meet with your teammates. You're a bad teammate. You're A, B, C, and D now. So I don't know how this works. I don't know how it works. Unless this dude comes out dropping 30, 25, and shooting the basketball, and we're playing great. That's the only way that you get repentant for your sins. And that he's not going to come out and say anything to us.
I don't want him to speak. Like everyone's like, oh, you're going to call a press conference. He's talked enough. Or actually, he's talked enough through his friggin' actions and his Instagram posts. I don't give a damn what he says because everything he says is all disingenuous. I don't even know if this guy wants to play basketball anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what has he shown us?
Oh, he wants to play basketball for the fame. We know this.
And for the money.
And for the money. And the money is more of a, you know what I mean? We got more of we see more of it now.
Your teammates offered to fly out to your damn friggin' house, to that pool, with the slippers and socks to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid, he doesn't know anything in the city. He owns nothing to you. He was willing to spend time away from his son and his family to go talk to your idiot friggin' face. And you said no?
Mm-hmm.
Guy's a friggin' scum of the earth. Scum of the earth. And he's made it harder for himself. Because he could have coasted and just say, oh, get a little better, Benny. Get better. Do regular season, Ben. And we'll forget that you flat out suck in the postseason. And we'll just have 6 months of happiness. Because we'll probably be the number 1 seed if we had the same roster. But no. Now, if you show your face in the building, first off, if I'm his teammates, I'm squaring him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not shaking your friggin' hand. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, how am I going to shake your hand? And now the microscope's on you, to where you said, Tom. Now, if you're showing your face, you better drop 30. We didn't ask him to shoot 20 before. Like, now you better be the next LeBron to even get us from friggin' rioting in that building.
And that's not who he is.
No.
Right? So we got to factor that into it. He's never gonna be that guy. So he's never gonna be the things we hoped from him. So I don't know how we ever get there. Right? Like nothing is going to change, like I said, unless the only thing that changes is if he comes out and, plays incredible. Right? Like something we've never seen before.
And this anger, Tom, that's been built up, right now it's on Simmons. And you might disagree with this, both you and the fam at home. It's going to start being directed at Daryl. Because there's a point where you say, okay, I understand you want to win the deal, Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to pull a friggin' trigger. Because I can deal with like the pettiness distractions in like training camp. But like eventually, like I know this team constructed right now is not as good as last season. So like, can we get on the friggin' phones? Like, I know you don't want to be the guy that trades him away and looks like, oh, well, I traded him 20 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, well, it's good as last year if he plays and they actually bring him back, which nobody wants, but it would be as good. So, listen, I don't know where the hell they go from here. I don't know how this guy comes back in the building. I don't know how, as a human being, you walk back in the building. So, I don't know how any of that happens. So, that's the biggest thing for me is I don't know how any of that goes down. So if anybody, like I said, if anybody can explain to me outside of you dropping 50, like, you know what I mean? Unless you're like, come in and you're like, we're like, who the hell is this MVP? Right? That's the only way, Ryan. That is the only way that people, the majority, calm down and don't smoke them all day, every day.
Instead of him actually showing up like
traded. John and Ryan said it, and the whole world said it. You take pennies on the dollar, you move them.
Get on the phone with Indiana. If you have Karis LeVert and Brogdon, I know they've been hurt. Now you're talking about you're going to be able to get Duarte if you throw Shake Milton and Jaden Springer in the deal. You're a better team tomorrow. You're better, and I get it. Oh, well, you don't know how long they're going to last. You're trading them for a guy who doesn't play now. He's not even in the state. These guys at least want to play basketball.
Yeah, listen, I'll continue to say it. This is why I talked about it for weeks. I was done talking about the guy. He's already traded in my eyes. The second he wanted me with Joel Embiid, he was traded. I mean, if not traded after the no shot. I mean, that's one thing. That's one thing, But, we were talking about Dame then. I'm talking about pennies on the dollar. As soon as you don't meet with Joel Embiid, he's traded. I don't care that you don't want to meet with the organization. You don't want to meet with the leader of the fucking team? You don't want to meet with the leader of this organization? You don't want to meet with him who's supposedly a friend of yours? Fuck you. Time to go. Time to go then. There's plenty of things that there was time to go on. That's the last straw to me. Because now how are you two going to have a relationship to win basketball games? How? How are you two going to have that relationship? To be able, are you two still close?
There's no way. Embiid's taking shots at him. You hear it. Borderline disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? He's had enough. There's a lot more he wants to say.
Yeah, that's why I just don't know how it works without them two making amends at this point. You know what I mean?
And to your question, Tom, before we get to the member wheel, what are the chances he comes back and is rejuvenated and actually is locked down? There's a better chance he shows up like this than the Simmons that can actually play basketball.
Yeah, I didn't ask a percent chance of him playing well. I said, how's it work? I don't think there, you know what I mean? I don't think there's a percent chance he comes back as a different basketball player.
Here's the problem. You know that, but there's people out there today, ever since the Woj bomb came out at 10, that, you know what? It's time to let bygones be bygones. No, we didn't do anything wrong. We didn't do anything. Bygones be bygones. We cheered him. Then he missed a free throw. We cheered louder.
Yeah, the problem is I never wanted to trash the guy.
No.
I had to. He didn't give me a choice. So, I've always, not defended him because I'm more of a Joel Embiid guy. So I never necessarily defended him, but I was always the guy saying, I'm not trading him yet. No,
yeah,
too much upside.
Every chance. Yeah, you gave
so
him
I don't know. This guy needs to wake up and realize that the world doesn't revolve around him.
No, you did something a lot of people couldn't do, Tom. You didn't put emotion into it. From the second the series was done, I was out. You know what I'm saying? I was all emotion. You at least gave it time to play out. We're like, okay.
I said Dame or nobody.
Yes. And you also gave him a chance. What do you always say about everything? It's about how you respond to adversity.
Yeah, he responded.
You wanted to see how he would respond. Well, he went and friggin' hit.
Yeah, he hid and he made mentally he can't handle it. This is more mental than physical, obviously. This is a mental issue. This is not being able to handle the heat, not being able to handle the pressure. Jesus Christ. So yeah, I played sports. Somebody asking me earlier, and I know if you're not mentally right, you ain't gonna be the player. If you're nervous to shoot, if you're nervous to be the guy you can be, you're never gonna be that guy. So, all right, without further ado, time for the member wheel.
Ralphie, you back
Kobe
there?
Bryant jersey.
Look at him. He was already ready to go.
So listen, you gotta, if you already won this month, I guess you're out of the winning. I don't know how to do that. You don't want to get the same jersey to the same people every week.
Nah.
So I guess you can win once a month, I guess is a fair thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. What's going on, Ryan? And then you can obviously win again on Steve's show, weekly roundup, as well. And if we do stuff besides jerseys, you can win again. Mm-hmm. So we'll do it like that. All right. Spin it, Ralphie. Kobe Bryant jersey. Who's going to get it? Molly.
I love it.
Molly, where you at, baby? Yo, message A2D Radio on any socials, Mall. Send your address, please, so I can get that out to you this week, my brother. Welcome. This is what the A2D members get. Part of their $9.99 a month. Molly gets a Lakers Kobe. Mamba Mondays. We decided to go with the Lakers. So, Molly, please, inbox with your address so we can get that out to you. Family, we love you. You got the Sports Sounds coming up at 7:15, followed by the boys on the Flight Zone at 9:30. Hit the damn subscribe button, pound the like button, stay with us, stay locked into us, This is the best Philly sports talk around. People imitate it, try to duplicate it, but there's only fucking one that's been grinding this bitch for a long time. So, no disrespect to the other ones, but it's the best. You don't need to go anywhere else.
By the way, Tom, just a heads up. When you're closing out the show, don't say the word bye. Don't say it.
Yeah, be careful. You don't want to upset Natalie. You don't want to upset. I'm a poor father because of the word bye. I love it.
I had to do it. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
Thank you, Jay North.
I just knew you would have an issue with everything. You know what I mean? You're always saying you are agree to disagree. I mean,
you won last week, Lord. What's the problem?
And I still have not got your address from the guys. I got that you think it was on purpose because it was Ben. No. I didn't know who I was giving away then. It was between a couple and then you won. I was like, no, it was Ben. And we were laughing because I couldn't believe it was you.
Yes.
So
no conspiracy. It's a wheel.
I'm saying once a month. You gonna win a jersey every week? Every week, give the same jersey, the same person? No, I'm not gonna take you off the wheel. Because maybe if you win again, I'll have something for you, and then we'll spin it again. All right, maybe I send you a little Venmo. Maybe it's something else. So no, I'm just saying the jerseys are once a month. So if his name comes up on the wheel, I'm not gonna take them off. I'm gonna find something. Maybe an HUD shirt. Maybe something I got laying around. So anyway, come down. I got signed cards over here. So there's things we can do. I mean,
and by the way, fam, if there was a conspiracy, it wouldn't even be our fault. Ralphie's in charge of the wheel, so go after him.
I'll give you, you know what I mean? I'll give you something else. I'll put a little grab bag together for you if that's the case. I mean, goodness gracious. It's unbelievable. You can't win. No, you can't win. Thanks, Bobby. Thanks, Jesse.
We'll give out like a free dinner with Ralph, like an auction off, like a night with Della Vecchio.
Yeah, yeah. Bobby, members can come on anytime they want. Anytime you can come on any show. You get 5 minutes. You can ran it up with us and jump off. So that's open to all our members anytime. So always know that. Listen, Sports Sound starting soon. Rye, great show like always. We thank FanUp for always bringing us Monday's show. Get your lineups in right now for Monday Night Football. I don't know why that didn't click. Why are we not clicking? There we go. Get your lineups in for Monday Night Football right now. No salary caps. FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code HUD for 5,000 bonus points. That's a $50 value at FanUp.app right on the Apple Store. Go check them out. FanUp is what they're called. I'm telling you, it's the best. I've won money. They send money to you immediately. You get it. Go use. You get with the bonus points. You can play all the daily fantasy stuff they have. All right, and then I think you get. I'm pretty sure because I got bonus points just for signing up and downloading the app. So you'll have plenty to dabble with throughout the year, and you're going to win some money. I'm telling you, get in Monday Night Football right now. Go use the promo code. I don't talk about stuff that that I don't do or use myself. Goes into Manscaped. We thank Manscaped as well. Get 20% off free shipping with the code HUD. Manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. The best. They got something for every part of your body. Go check it out. Use the promo code and get free shipping as well. Body Check Wellness. We got promo code for days. Go use the promo code HUD over there. 25% off. All your CBD products. Your clarity and focus, your energy and endurance stuff. They got again something for everybody and products that I take. And I'm not going to talk about products I don't take. Gleason's coming soon, where we're going to have a promo code to go get their cheesesteaks for people. More promo codes coming. It's all about promos here.
And fam, if you don't want to jump in on the body check wellness for yourself, get some and send it to friggin' Nick Sirianni. We all know he can use some.
He could use some.
Yeah.
And our doc over at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Make him yours, Dr. Paul Vidal. The best in the business. Accepts most major insurances. Comes on with us at least once a Sunday to talk injuries. Go check him out. Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. That's Ryan Brodo. I'm Tom Arnone. The family out there, turn your alerts on. Sports Hound's coming up. 1 minute. We out. Look at that transition.